Oh, welcome to the shake-up, guys. Sorry about that. I'm a little later than I expected to be. I had a little bit of problems with everything again today. Wasn't the computer's fault. I got everything handicapped this morning on Gulfstream. And then I went back to look at the late pick 5, and I just started to get the scratches. And when I got to the second race, the scratches didn't make sense. There was a 13 horse that was scratched. I think the second race is only an 8 horse race. I ended up handicapping the 16th again. So that's why I'm on late. I had to scramble, get everything back together, handicap today's races. And now I'm all fucked up. But anyways, thanks for joining. If you're out there, let me know. Hey, what's up, Q Savage? Yeah, I wanted to look at the late pick 5. That's when I realized I was getting the scratches for the late pick 5. And that's when I realized I handicapped the wrong fucking day. So anyways, obviously, I got nothing for this first race. I didn't even get to look at it myself. I don't know if I would have liked it or not, so I'm not even going to look at it. I think I got a little bit of the fairground races, but I might have made the same mistake there. Let me see, because I think I liked some fairground races. I think the problem is this Foxit software. I like using the Foxit software for marking up my forms. It looks like I lost all of my work for fairgrounds too. Shit. I wanted to look. Smoking pot? I only smoke cigars. I can't stand pot. No, I just did a clusterfuck. Yeah, Lou. So after you got in contact with me and reminded me about that pick 5, I wanted to take a look at it. I know the last 5 races were 2 sprint races on the dirt, 2 sprint races on the turf. I like those 2 profiles. So I thought today might have been, but with me fucking up the form and wasting all that time on the wrong form, it just fucked me up. Hey, what's up, Bender? Let me even see where I'm at. It didn't help that I had to run out and grab a cigar too. Oh my God, did I just fuck this again? I did. Oh, you got a ticket together. You just... Hey, Bender, I haven't been paying attention to any Turfway. What do you mean? What's the news on Turfway right now? For like the last week and a half to 2 weeks, I've been playing less of Turfway just because I've been having, not that anything's wrong with Turfway. I've just been having a winning day after winning day at Gulfstream and just didn't feel like... Oh, fuck, they're switching to surface there? Yeah, that'll be bad. I honestly don't know if that'll be bad. I mean, that will change the new thing. That will change the new, but you know what? There's always new biases and new trends to discover. But, you know, dude, I have not lost at Turfway for the last, I think it's going to be safe to say for the last 21 years. I'll have to go crazy to lose Turfway now and for this year, and I'd have to really go nuts, putting a lot of action in there. And right now, I'm more so backing off. They're redoing the surface there, son of a bitch. Oh, what was I trying to look up? Oh, here, let me get my shit together. Yeah, so anyways, Turfway did change a little bit this year. And I'm a clusterfuck right now. I'm all over the damn place. So Turfway did. I said it was a little bit harder than usual. I had basically 2 huge days at Turfway this meet that put me up to what I usually would win at Turfway. And I remember last year I was hammering Turfway real hard, and then I around March, end of February, beginning of March, that surface changed on me, and I was just up my standard amount at Turfway, and I kind of just stopped playing Turfway. I get burnt out doing this in the afternoons and in the evenings. I really don't like playing that long. It's too much for me, anyways. Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm always looking for new ones, and Bender, I know you've been watching, and you know I'm kind of excited about the fairgrounds right now. I thought the fairgrounds dirt has been running kind of like Gulfstream with the inside, especially the sprints. Uh, so I mean, we're going to get that back. I really like how fairgrounds been looking. I've been not concentrating on any turf races and very few routes out there. But I love how the dirt sprints are running. It kind of running like Gulfstream there right now. Fuck, do I got an ashtray over here? But yeah, you know what? So what's been happening? The reason why I've been just backing away from golf or from Turfway in the evening, it's just I've been getting up that, $300, $200 at Gulfstreams. And, when Turfway comes up, it's like, well, do I want to battle again, or do I want to just take the $200-$300? And for probably the last 2 weeks, I've been just settling on, hey, let's just take the money, relax, make my wife happy. That I'm not gambling all night till 10 o'clock. I hate gambling to 10 o'clock for some reason. So, but that is going to bother me that they change the surface unless maybe something will come up better. Rex got the what up, Rex? He hit the exacta. Who else is in here? Mr. Clutch is in here. I still got Delta Downs too. But Delta Downs another track that runs in the evening. Yeah, you wanted the 8 on top, but you hit the exacta. That can't suck. Got an 89 for $2. That's a good start. Let's see, who won that? The one horse won that. Lightly raced, stepping down a little bit. Average last race. You know what? His average actually looks decent. The 3 got third. What did the 10 do? Fourth. I didn't even get to see that race. For some reason I wasn't paying attention to it. I would have liked to see if that 10 horse got the lead and for how long. All right, anyways, let's get to some handicapping. Let me get my betting window and everything open on this second monitor real quick. Inspires. Yeah, so I don't have fairgrounds. I handicapped that last night. I only did the dirt races. I wanted to use the dirt races on the show. I'm probably going to watch the races even though I lost my mark. So basically what's going on, I got to use this tablet to mark my shit. And I use Foxit. I like the Foxit, how it marks up my shit. But for some reason, it has the worst time saving it. And it keeps corrupting it and losing it and all this shit. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I did fairgrounds. I did some work on fairgrounds and I basically lost it. So I wasted a lot of time handicapping earlier today and last night. So today it looks like we'll just concentrate on Gulfstream and probably just watch. And I even had Oak Lawn Park today. I didn't handicap Oak Lawn. I thought I was going to look at it, but right now I'm going to be so distracted. Oh, you played Delta last night? See, I didn't play Delta last night. Fuck, I went to bed at 7 o'clock last night. Went into bed, I had such a headache. I went to sleep at 7 o'clock. I didn't play at all yesterday. It was nice. And then I woke up at 10, started handicapping a little bit of fairgrounds. Went back to sleep and then fucked up today. So this for second race, maiden claiming 12-5 on the dirt. Dirt, I like the inside of the track. Let me bring up my other stuff. Oh, fairgrounds is sloppy today. That might change. That might change it where that bias might not had matter. So I'll be looking. So what I'm interested in at fairgrounds, I'm just gonna say it. So when we watch the races, I'm not gonna handicap the races. I'm gonna try to either watch them on TVG or bring them up on the screen here. I'm interested in posts 1 through 3. That track, by my numbers, look like it's running just like Gulfstream, favoring the inside of the track. So if on all those dirt races, especially the sprints today, posts 1 through 3 dominated, I probably would have had a good day there with my shit. But if it doesn't, I would have probably left it alone, or maybe got away from it. All right. Anyways, where we at? So anyways, on these the running style at Gulfstream. Let me just get all my stuff together. I like having the new computer. I can open up everything I want. So Gulfstream right now on the dirt, we've had 193 races, sprints. 7 furlongs on down is what I call a sprint. 193 races as of 2/16. 86 of them were won by posts 1 through 3. That's a good number. 75 of them has been won through 4 through 6. So if you're not in posts 1 through 3, you want to be posts 4 through 6. And it gets harder once you get outside of that. Only 32 races. So just maybe about 15%, maybe not even 15% have been won from 7 on out. So that's why I mostly stick to the inside of the track there. Even though 4 through 5 has won 75 of the races, because I watch that track every day, I know that a lot of those horses are getting first run on the rail or they're getting rail trips. So that's why I still, you know, even though that's really close to the 86, 75 is really close to 86, I know that a lot of those horses that are wider, four through six, are still getting the rail. So anyway, 79 of the races wired and 94 of them stalked. This is out of 193 total races. Stalking is 1 through 4 lengths back, and only 20 came from 5 lengths back or farther. So for the most part, we try to beat closers. We try to beat the outside of the track. We want to be a speeder stalker that gets to the rail first. For the most part, that's the winning profile there. Some days it's stronger than others. I always start the day hoping that it's going to be really strong. So anyways, let me pull up my form here. Did that come here? All right, there we go. All right, anyway, so this one horse, average, slow last race, dropping in class a bit. 2 races ago, slow, match strides with the slowest winner of the day for the next 2 calls. I mean, okay races. He's dropping. He probably needs a drop. He hasn't been getting in a striking position at the top of the stretch. You know how I like horses that get within 3 lengths at the top of the stretch to have a chance for the win. So I think the drop here makes sense. 8-1's not bad. The 2 horse, slow last race. The rail was bad. He was in the 4 hole. He did have a little bit of trouble. It says he was bumped repeatedly. I don't know. Let's go back 2 back. He was just slow. He had the 2 hole, good part of the track. Still finished 2 by 12, not getting in position. He's been at this level a lot. In fact, he's been at this level his entire career, about 6 races. Never get in position at the top of the stretch. Boy, at 5-1, I don't even like him at 5-1. He also has no front speed. The 3 horse, second. He went pretty fast for the first call last race, and he just slowed it up. That was on the turf, dropping in class. I find this horse a little bit interesting. I can't mark it as we go, but I'm going to look up this August and July race. Let's see, August 3rd. Man, I went from having everything ready to nothing. Why does that look wrong? That's not wrong. Okay, so 2 races ago, he was average. That was that maiden special weight, much higher of a class. Yeah, C. Taylor. So yes, you're exactly right. So when I keep my notes, I don't keep notes of the horse's number. When I put in my data, I'm using post position. So you're right. If the 1 and 2 was scratched, I move everyone over, or I at least look at the charts and make sure we're on the right post position. So, you know, some of those days, it could be the 5 horse winning, but he's in 2 or 3. So I always do pay attention when they move it over. So yeah, you're right on that. So, you know, if you see a 1 and 2, 2 gets scratched and they move the, you know, everybody over, that'll be the 3, 4, and 5 then has the biggest advantage. Okay, so so anyways, this This 3-horse 2 races ago was average, slow. In July, he was July 13. He would have been second. And we don't have the third call. What is he at? Oh, he's only at 4-1. I think this 3-horse has a bit upside here. I really do. But you know what? This looks like a race where there's going to be a lot of horses dropping. So far, we got the 1-horse dropping a bit. The 2 horses dropping a bit. Or I'm sorry, not the 2-horse. I'm sorry. The 3 horses dropping a bit. The 4 horses dropping a bit. The 4 last race inside of the track was good. He was average, slow. 2 races ago, he was average, slow. Not bad races. He's at 9-2. I don't have a problem. Wow, they're going to chalk the 11-horse. I'm getting more interested in this race. Like I said, I believe in the inside of the track. When we got an 11-horse that might be the chalk here, that automatically makes me want to bet this race. The 5-horse inside of the track was good last race. He was in the 8-hole. He came out, so he earned the asterisk for that. He was slow. 2 races ago was a 1-race sample. I got nothing on that. Doesn't look like the worst race in the world. That was at a little higher class. And then the 3 races ago, she was slow. Yeah. Another horse that's kind of dropping in class to this spot. I think you could throw out last race completely. 15-1 might be a price that makes me a little interested. Just don't know if this horse has any real speed. The 6-horse inside the track was good. This horse was in the 5-hole last race. Match strides with the slowest winner. Then he was just slow, terrible speed figure, just terrible form. 2 races ago, inside that track was good. Asterisk had the 10-hole that day. Average, slow. 3 races ago, another 7 post position, slow. I don't like this horse, but this horse does have 3 legit. Actually, this horse has ran on the outside 4 races in a row. Well, I think this horse has extremely hidden form. Fuck, 60-1, huh? The 7 ran 1 race, every right to improve. The inside of the track was good that day. He was sitting in the outside, slow. Total throwout race, every right to improve. The 8-horse, first-time starter. I just ignore first-time starters. Oh, yeah, see, Taylor, a dead rail means that you've watched enough races and all the horses are winning with wide moves, and it seems like the inside horses are coming out slower than usual, or it doesn't look like they're able to compete, or every horse that goes to the rail just looks dead. It's a judgment call, but when you say a rail is good, it means it looks like every horse is shooting up that rail, and you usually got long shots winning on it. And when the rail is dead, it's the exact opposite. It just looks like everyone's making wide moves, and you know, you're right on about that. The 9-horse, slow last race. Had the good part of the track, earned a decent speed figure, but I honestly don't care for him. Oh, he's 17-1, but I still don't care for him. 2 races ago, average, slow. Inside of the track was good. She was in the 3-hole. I mean, it's a decent race. 3 races ago, just slow. Yeah, you know, like I said, man, when you get outside of that 6 hole, it gets really hard to win out there. Oh, the 10 horse. Last race, just throw that out. That's not even a race for him. 2 races ago, inside of the track was good. This horse was slow, slow, slow. So I can't really excuse this horse at all. 10 looks like a throw out. The 11, every right to improve. Started at the basement. Had the 7 hole, but I thought the rail was bad that day, so I didn't give this horse an asterisk. I thought the rail was bad that day, so this horse was nowhere near the rail. I'm having a hard time figuring out why they're chalking this horse, to be honest. I don't care for this horse. I like a lot. I think there's a lot more upside than playing this 11 here. I mean, a lot more upside. The 12 horse, dropping in class. Pretty considerable drop. That looks like a 2-level drop to me from 32 to 12. 5. Last race was a turf race. And it was a route. I hate route to sprint. She was just average that race. 2 races go slow, slow, slow. 3 races go slow, slow, slow. The drop makes sense. To me, betting the 12 hole just does not make sense. You know, we could have a day where the outside of the track might be better today, but day in and day out, I prefer starting with the inside and starting there. I think the horses I'm most interested in here is probably the 1. This horse is dropping. It's been average. I don't think he has any real front speed. But 9 to 1, I think that's at least fair odds on that horse. The 2 horse gets the good post position, but I don't believe in this horse at 4 to 1. The horse I'm most intrigued with is probably the 3. I think the 3 has the most upside here. In fact, I like 1, 3, 4 the best here, hands down. Hey, what's up, Joe Brown? So I like 1, 3, 4, and I like the 5 and the 6 a little bit. I'm a little interested at the 6 because I think this horse has disguised form for the last 4 races, and I just can't resist taking a 70 to 1. Even though he got beat by almost, I'm willing to put a flyer on this 6 horse. I don't know how I want to bet this race. I think I got to go win an exacta bets. I'm playing the 3 on top of the 1, 4, 5, 6. Three on top of the 1, 4, 5, 6. There's some long shots that I think got a shot. Even this 5. Someone mentioned the 5 in the chat room. Who is that? Marco Lou? I kind of like this horse. This horse, your 5 horse. I got the inside of the track being good last race. So he gets an asterisk. 2 races ago, I couldn't rate him on. I kind of like the 5. I don't love him, but at 20 to 1, I'm going to start out slow today. I'm going to go 1 on top of the, I'm sorry, 3 on top of the 1, 4, 5, 6. 1 on top of the 3, 4, 5, 6 for exacta. I keep saying this wrong. I'm fucking so sorry. I'm so fucked up in the head. I'm going 3 on top of the 1, 4, 5, 6. 3 on top of the 1, 4, 5, 6. I'm putting a small bet on the 5 and the 6 to win. $10 to win on the 5 and 6 to win. And you know what? I am going to go a smaller exacta than my first exacta. I kept saying the 1. I'm going to go a smaller exacta, 1 over the 3, 4, 5, 6. I think this race has a lot of potential. Hey, good luck to you guys. Good luck to Joe Brown. I'm going to get off to a good start. I really think this race got decent potential here, though. So I don't love anyone here, but when they chalk the 11 horse, and I just think that's a terrible post position, they almost put you in a position where if you can eliminate that 5 to 2 horse, you can really so I need 3 over the 1, 3 over the 1, 4, 5, or 6. 1 over the 3, 4, 5, or 6. I better be right about this too, because I tell you what, if this 2 sucks up for second, I'm gonna be kind of pissed at myself here. I just don't think he gets in position at the top of the stretch. And I do have only $10 to win on the 5 and the 6. Oh. And I should have put. You know what? I forgot. I should have bet this 3 to probably win. So 1 and 3 look like they broke really good. I thought the 3 had a little bit more upside. I'll take the 1. He's at 8 to 1. I got no inside horses coming. I need this. I probably shouldn't have went for exactas here. Unless this 5 can make a run, I think the 3's dead. I think the 1's home. I just need an inside horse to come. Ah, shit. I think I got to have the winner in my top 2 choices, and I'm just not going to cash. No, it's going to be 1-9. Ah, I bet that race terribly. I went exacta heavy. I went exacta heavy. I did you know what? I really did a terrible job betting that race. I really did. I liked the 3 the most. I thought the 3 had the most upside, but the 1 was my second choice, hands down. I did a piss poor job betting that race. I went too heavy and exacta. You know, if I would have been. Sometimes you make a mistake. Sometimes So I decided to go exactas. If I would have went doubles, I would be happy right now, but I decided to go exactas. I just missed. Don't ask me why I didn't decide to carry on my the bet the 1 and the 3 to win. So I had the 3 at 9-2. I had the 1 at 8-1 or 9-1. Those were my top two choices. I played some aggressive exactas that were going to pay huge. I did a poor job betting that race. I really did. The handicapping was good, but the handicapping. Okay, so we won at 8-1. The handicapping was decent. Who was that 9 horse? So I want to point it out again. Remember, when I do all my totals and everything and biases, I'm talking about in the win position. I see that the all outside, and that's what got me. All the outside horses ran second, third, and fourth. But I'm mostly a double player and a win player. I do play a lot of exactas. 9 was the horse that I kept saying, oh man. This was easy. I never understood why they were betting the 11. I never understood that. Yeah, Chester Johnson. That's what I'm wishing I did. You know, sometimes it just depends on what pool you want to jump in to make you, have a better ticket. You know, I spend all my time handicapping winners, and the exacta pool's always been a little bit more tricky. I do good in the exactas, but I prefer to play double pools just because I focus so much of my handicapping and trying to find winners. I wish I would have been in that double pool. Please don't make me pick the next race correctly, because this is going to be a missed opportunity. I think this is going to be a real bad. I think someone pointed out. I was just too aggressive. What I usually do is the bet win when I got someone over. Usually my rule is if you like someone over 7-1, you bet the damn horse to win. Don't tell your buddies. Don't ask your buddies what they think. Whenever you like something over 7-1, 7-1 is my cutoff point. If I like anything on a horse that's over 7-1, I'm betting. And that's what I tell people to do. Before you even tell your friends, make sure you bet it. Don't let them talk you out of it. And this is what I should have did. I should have used that rule with the 1. Instead, I just went doubles on them. Or not doubles, exactas, and missed exacta. Oh well. Well, yeah, Rex, 9, I said I thought 9 looked good, but when I'm talking about for a win position, when I'm talking about that inside bias, it's just hard for me. But you know what? Looking back at it, I remember saying I liked this 9 horse and that I hated the 11, or didn't understand why they were betting the 11. 9 was probably one of the better horses just on speed figures. See all those 71s? He did 2 71s and a 72. I don't even think many horses have been capable of doing that in this race. Look, he's the according to Brisnet speed figures, he's 11-1. That was not hard to have. He's a little bit harder for me to have because I believe in the inside of the track. Oh man, this was really a missed opportunity. Well, good luck on your doubles, Chester. Yeah, Marco, and that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, that, hey, they can't win out there. And this is where I make the mistake. I spend so much time like focusing on who's going to win and who I like for the win that a lot of times I just take my exactas and I use my contenders for the win. And that's really not how you should do it. You should notice useful horses like the 9, who was a top speed figure horse, who was going to be outside, who probably couldn't win, but they could get second. I make a lot of mistakes like that. That's why I said I prefer the doubles. Oh, that's going to hurt. But dude, even me, I mean, 30 years, we all make tons of mistake in this game. And I just thought the 3 had more upside. In fact, I was supposed to do my fantasy tournament play, and I just so all over the place this morning. I didn't even declare that. I would have used the 1 and the 3, but I'm not going to mark it down like that. I would have just used the 1 and the 3 in the tournament play. But anyways, we're gonna make some money. Yeah, so for the most part, the bias is the inside of the track. Post 1 through 3 by themselves is winning about 44% of all the sprints out there on the dirt. Some days it's not as good. I think Sunday all the horses were from the 5 and 6 post position, but I always start with the inside because day in and day out it tends to be inside. And I also notice, I don't keep track of it, but a lot of them, you always play your handicapping method or your handicapping bias. You kind of don't take credit when low price horses win. You kind of judge everything on higher price horses. And like this race right here, we're looking for the inside of the track. An 8-1 just started out the day. Boom, I'm happy with that. I'm happy seeing that. If we just seen a 6-5, a 2-1, don't get crazy and thinking there's a lot of biases. There could be, because chalks get help from biases too. But you tend to try to judge them. So what I'm going over is, even more often than not, even the throwback video that I put up last night with the 25-1, the 1 horse, that allowed us to get a 25-1 horse that you might normally not have. So we always want to judge our biases by how many long shots it puts us on. We don't care that it puts us on possibly a lot of low price horses. The power of the game is being able to bet these long horses like they're chalk. To be able to put your max bet on a fucking 25-1 is way more powerful than you being able to put your max bet on a even money, or even a 2-1, or even a 3-1. You always judge the method of your handicapping to how many long shots it gets you. If no matter what you use, if it's not getting you long shots, horses that are under bet, if it's not putting you on enough 10-1 winners, 20-1 winners and up, I don't really have a use for it for the long-term game. To me, you beat this game with when the public makes a mistake. So we like to judge. Okay, so Marco Lou, he gets rid of favorites in his tracking. See, I track everything. I want to know the raw numbers, then go. So anyways, we got another dirt route or a dirt route race. I probably should have looked at doubles, but you guys seen how I came on in a clusterfuck, couldn't get my thoughts together, was short on time. I got a feeling that's going to cost me the double. We only got 6 horses here. I got a feeling that we could have caught this double, but let's just see. So we got claiming 6,000 non-winners 2 lifetime. Again, we're looking at the inside of the track. I'll say it again. Out of 120, okay, here you go. Raw numbers. As of 2/16 championship meet, they ran 128 route races on the dirt. 128. 63 of them. 63. You don't even got to do the math in your head. That's 50%. That's a tick under 50%. Or is that a tick over 50%? It's pretty close to 50 fucking percent is winning from posts 1 through 3. Enough said. We concentrate on posts 1 through 3 day in and day out. 42 has been won from 4 through 6 and 23 from outside of that, 7 on out. So, I mean, just looking at raw numbers, if you don't know where you need to start off your handicapping, you know, it should be obvious. Start inside. 39 of the 128 went wire to wire. 70 stalk. So 70 of the 128 are coming from 1 or 4 lengths back. 19%, that's just a little over 10% are coming from 5 lengths out. So for the most part, you want to be a stalker, maybe even a little bit speed, early kind of, speed and stalker. I would say the track has a speed and stalker. Hey, what's up, Daryl? So the 1 horse, slow last race. 2 races go slow. Inside of the track was good. I didn't really put a asterisk there because the 4, you can win from the 4 hole. It's kind of inside, but I didn't think he deserved an asterisk. And 3 races back, he had the inside, still managed to be slow. So 2 of his last 3 races, this horse has had the 3 hole and the 2 hole. He still manages to be slow. Probably don't have much use for him. The 2 horse, slow last race, coming from the 5 hole. I really don't have that. The rail was exceptional that day. So I didn't give him an asterisk. 2 races ago, this horse had the inside. He earned a heart and a second for being fast. He went too fast, slow, and fell apart. I kind of like that race, but did the 1 hole make him a little bit faster? Notice his speed figure went up a bit. It's one of his better races. It looks like his second best race according to speed figures. Did the rail help him? Probably. 3 races ago, it was at a 6.5 furlongs, so he probably doesn't have real speed. He was in the 5 hole. He was on the slower side of everything. 10-1, I like him more than the 1 horse, but I don't love anyone. So far, I see a lot of untalented horses. The 3 horse, slow last race, had the 1 hole. I'm always hard on the horses at Gulfstream when they have the best part of the track and they still look slow. 2 races ago, he had the 7 hole. He was slow. I mean, the 4 horse. I'm going to come back to the 4. Let me look that up. Let's go to the 5. He set the slowest fractions and was able to win last race. That's why he gets the 2 squares, and then he was average. Inside of the track was good. He was in the 3 hole. This horse just looks like he got the perfect setup last race. 2 races ago, inside of the track was good. He was kind of average, slow. 5-2. You know, this horse doesn't look terrible, but he doesn't look great. I more want to try to beat him than to actually play him. I always have problems with the slowest winners of the day. And the 6 has the exact same mark. He was match strides with the slowest winner for the first 2 calls. He was a speed horse. Then he just slowed up. Dropping just a little bit in class. He's 2-1. Oh, there's 6 horses. Why did I think there was 7? Now, this is a weird race. This is a weird race because I don't think there's much on the inside, but I don't think there's much on the outside either. I'd rather try to beat the 4, 5, 6 than to actually try to get through them. If I would have played the last race, there was a good chance I might have used an all here. You know, if I would have went doubles. I want to look up that the races on this 4 horse. Let me see. Gulfstream, November 13th, I think that is. All right. My opinion is shaping up in this race. Let me look up October 10th. These are at Gulfstream Park West. So that'd be 10-10. $46-3. $59-2. I think I want to look up his March 29th race too. I know that's going back a ways, but I like to have 3 or 4 races I can look up. $23-3. Okay. So this 4 horse, I just looked up his last race was a heart triangle. He went fast. That was a fast race. I also had that the rail was not that great that day. He was in the 5 hole, so I don't think the rail didn't help him. 2 races ago, he was slow, average. That was at 6 furlongs. I don't expect him to be a speed burner. And 3 races ago at 6.5 furlongs, he was average, slow. I think the 4 got more upside than the 5 and the 6. Five's also getting winners for the first time. I think the 4 is fast enough to stop the 5 and the 6 from getting the rail. Except I'm not doing all of this work to try to find a 5-2. What's up, Bill? So, see, Taylor, what I do is I do my own charts. And from each day, I do my own charts. And then from after I get all of my data made, I make a profile, a winning profile for that day. So an average means it was just an average point of call for that day. I don't believe in comparing times on different days. A lot of speed figures and a lot of handicappers try to compare times for different days. They try to do it with variant and averages, making a variant or making an average. I don't really believe in that. I only compare my times for that day. So when I say a horse was slow that day, that means he was slow that day, not in contention, no matter what the running line means. It was just too slow. It didn't fit the range of what was winning that day. So that's all it means. When I say a horse is fast, it means he went too fast that day. None of the horses were able to go that fast and win. Those are my hearts. An average just means he fell in between the range of the winning times for that day. It was just an average race. Averages play really strong when you get a lot of slow horses. An average might act like a heart. But that's kind of what the symbols mean. So when I say a horse was, this one, he was slow that race, he still finished 3 by 5, but he was outside of the range of any winner that day. He was just too slow. I think it's a bad looking race, but he got a decent speed figure. I just look at things different. And fuck, what happened to that first race at Fairgrounds? I'm getting distracted. I'm trying to do more, and I should be doing less right now. Okay, guys. Come on, this is like school. What did I say I'd be looking for in the first race at Fairgrounds or any dirt race? All the races are dirt. The one horse won the first race and paid $22. I'm not saying I would have had it because I just can't red board and say I would have had it, but I did tell you guys what I'd be looking for. Posts 1 through 3. I said I like how Fairgrounds been looking to me, and even just looking at the results, I do like that. So anyways, this I'm mostly interested in this race at Gulfstream, the two and the 4. Man, it is pouring at Fairgrounds. So I'm watching the second race at Fairgrounds. It's just a 5-horse field. Yeah, I do red board all the time, but when I red board, it's right. I mean, my numbers don't lie. You guys kind of know what I'm looking for, but yeah, you can call me out on sometimes when I don't mark up a horse and I realize that he was a heart horse. I do red board sometimes. I think this 2-horse is worth a play here. The 4 I also think is worth a play, but I'm not that interested in 2 to 1. I'm probably just going to take a shot with the 2 here. What's next race? I got enough. I don't think I got enough time to even look ahead to the doubles. Boy, man, I do not like playing tracks where you can't see the saddle cloth. It is gray, cloudy, and that might have been the 8-horse that won the second race at Fairgrounds, but that horse wired. He went right to the rail. It was a 5-horse race, so I'm not going to let that 8-8 fool me at Fairgrounds, but I'm going to take a small stab at this race. I'm going to bet. I'm betting the 2 to win. We don't. That's not even a question. Yeah, my time management is terrible here. I'm also a little interested in the exacta 4 on top of the 1, 2, 3. I just want to make sure that they're kind of worth playing. 4 on top of the 1, 2, 3. Yeah, the lowest one is the 4-1. It's paying $18 for a dollar. So yeah, I'll take that. 56 and 65 for the other two. So that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to bet this 2 to win. And then I'm playing 4 on top of the 1, 2, 3. So give me 4 to win, or 2 to win. And then 4 on top of the 1, 2, 3. And this isn't going to be kind of a prime bet for me. This is more of a it's not an action bet too. I just went after it for a nice medium kind of bet. You know what? I'm also going to play. What is this 2 in second worth? One, 2 is paying 66. 3, 2. Let's see. The lowest one is paying $40 for a dollar. 5. For every $5, I get $40 at the lowest. I'm going to play an all 2. I'm going to play an all 2 instead of a place bet on the 2. An all 2 exacta as a backup. If I was really being aggressive today, I would have went a 2 all. Bill, were you here for the second race? I had the winner, and I just at 8 to 1, and I just missed. I whiffed on the exactas. Oh, I was hoping this 2 would be able to show a little bit of speed, so we need a 4 on top of the 1, 2, 3. I can't bet 2 to 1s to win. 4 on top of the 1, 2, 3 would be nice though, but we'll see. Oh, that's the 3 in second. Okay. Shit. I need this outside horse to go away. And they went fast. They went 23 and 3 for the first call, 46 for the second call. I need the 6 to go away, and I don't think he's going away. Ooh, I think I need this 3 not to give up. Don't give me another freaking winner with no exacta. I needed this 6 to go away. Shit, the 6 is never going away. 6 might have been the best horse in the race, but I don't think that was the 4's fault at all. I should have went doubles. I should have been able to play the doubles. I've seen the 6 steadied in the race. I think everyone's seen the 6 steadied in the race, but I think the 6 actually caused his own problems. Oh, 6 caused his own problems. Yeah, I don't, they might look at that, but I don't think they'll take down the 4. To me, it looks like the 6 drifted in and caused his own problems when he might have changed leads. I think 6 was probably a better horse there, or would have at least been closer. Okay, so Elliot, the average first call at Gulfstream is, it obviously depends on the surface. So the easiest one for me to tell you what's fast and not is the turf sprints. Turf sprints are the easiest ones for me. 21 flat at the first call on a turf sprint is bordering too fast. 20 and 4, whenever you see sub 20s, which they, or sub 21s, which they do, you got to hold your breath. That's on the really fast side, right? 21 by itself is not necessarily fast, because between 21 and 1 and 21 and 3 is probably day in and day out pretty close to being an average first call on the turf there for the routes. When we see anything that goes faster than a 22 at the first call, that's on the slow side. That's when you really want to pay attention. To the track might be running slow that day. You know what? The 4 did do some drifting. The 4 actually did not keep the straight line. I might change my opinion on what I originally thought here. I might change my opinion a little bit. Now the 6 did drift in and the 4 was drifting out, so I don't know, but I thought it was cut and dry that the 4 was going to stay up. Now I'm not so sure. So anyways, that's the turf sprints. Turf routes, I'm having a hard time really getting a gauge on that turf route track. Or might go down here. So anyways, what I've been doing for this championship meet, I've been kind of judging the first call at 23. When they go faster than 23 at the first call, it is fast. And they do a lot. That's on the fast side, 23. 23, you still, if you get the lead and you get control of the pace, we're still holding our breath at 23. I don't feel like it's the easiest setup. It's a doable setup to wire the field. When we start getting 24 at the first call and you get a lead and you establish it. You get about a length. I don't like when horses open up, but let's just say you get a length with 24. More often than not, you should feel good on the lead with a length advantage with 24 at the first call. And anything slower than that, if you can establish the lead, that's good. So I kind of judge that turf route race at 23. Now for dirt routes, it varies greatly. I don't know if I look at the first call for a route to kind of judge average, or do I feel it going fast? I think what I usually do is I look at the horse's action. Horses have been able to go sub 23 and wire, it's kind of more of you feeling it. And for dirt route or for dirt sprints, if you can get the lead, so 20 in the 21s is fast on the dirt route. 22 and anything, 22 and change is usually just kind of standard, just a standard first call there. And if you get 23 in the lead, I start feeling really good. In this race, there was really no upside for me. 2-1, 9-5, 3-1. it was probably this was probably a better race to avoid, but I wanted to get some more action just with the way that second race. I felt like I should get some action. I don't regret betting the 2. He just didn't fire at all. Ugh. He was kind of embarrassing. The 4 did what I expected him to. I'm hoping they leave the 4 up, even though it won't do any good. I won't have the exacta. But the four on top of the, oh, they took him down. And you know what? It probably was the right call. When I first watched the race, I thought the 6 caused it himself. But when we seen the head on it, it wasn't the case. The 4 was really all over the track. So I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that disqualification at all. And 6, we needed him to go away. Oh, too bad, Jeepin. You didn't have the 6. I got a feeling if I would have had time to look at the doubles, I got a feeling I would have played the 1 and 3 to the 4 and 2. I got a feeling I would have still done that. But I got a feeling I probably would have done like a $5 4 all. Or I'm sorry, a $5 1 all. I just got a feeling if I was in double mode instead of exactas. But I you know, so I would have had more money going to the 4 than the 6. Yeah, and this 2 horse, the reason I played the 2 horse is because I thought maybe he might show a little bit speed with that heart. But, you know, I did point out that, you know, he might have only been able to earn the heart that day because he had the rail that day. And the way he ran today, that's probably the case that, you know, when you look at his overall work, his last 3 races, he didn't really look like he's a heart horse. You know, even the heart horses, they're not all created equal. I like to look at the overall work there. But I think at 18 to 1, I don't mind taking you know, shots like that. Actually, he went off at 34 to 1, I think. So I don't mind that. Oh, wait. Hey, Bill, I resent you the form with all the marks in there. I don't know if you got it, but usually you're throwing out picks, so I did resend that to you. All right, let's look ahead. We're just going to concentrate on Gulfstream. That's all we got. So let's get ahead. Let's get back to the format of looking for doubles and shit. Let me get my form up. So we got a mile race on the turf. Ugh. I got to open up this tablet. We got a mile race on the turf, made it special weight. You know, I'm honest about my profiles and how I feel about a track right now. I'm struggling. I won't say I'm struggling because, you know, the last turf race we played was that 1 horse at 16 to 1. That was the easiest 16 to 1 call that I've had in a while, you know. But do I feel good day in and day out jumping into this turf? No. This turf tend to change day in and day out. Overall for the entire meet, it's running way too fair. And for me as a gambler, especially a biased handicapper, I don't want a fair track. I know some guys complain about, hey, this track's a conveyor belt and everything, and all I can think is when guys say shit like that, it's the stupidest thing to me. Well, you're so good, you spotted the conveyor belt, jump in and play the damn conveyor belt. Steal the money when it's there. I want an unfair track. I want a edge track. So I'm just gonna flash my turf shit right here. So this is my turf profile right here. Turf profile, these are the totals. We had 176 turf route races in the championship meet so far. And this is why I'm saying, you know, we have a fair track. There's no real edge. We got 60 winning from 1 through 3, 65 winning from 4 through 6, 51 winning from outside of that. And the nice thing about the turf races, usually all the turf races, we don't have short fields there. Usually, you know, they're 8 to 12 horse fields. We got big fields. Some tracks, when they run way too many 6 and 5 horse fields, my numbers can skew and favor the inside when it's not necessarily so, you know, because they don't run enough, you know, big fields. You know, if you played Santa Anita, it probably looks like 1 through 3 is dominant, but they don't run any 8 horse fields. So, you know, but anyways, for the Gulfstream, you know, they do run full fur. So, you know, right there, that's pretty much mathematically all 33%. You know, I know 51's a little bit lower, but it's not that far low, you know. The other problem I have, if you look at it, this column right here, my 45, that's how many horses out of 176 went wire to wire. Okay, that's a good start, but when we look at how many closed, 43 closed. Dude, that's as close as you can get. So I can't even say, hey, I like horses with a little bit more speed, or I like horses with a little bit more late kick. That's even. That's pretty even. The big number is stalkers, but I always got to remind people with stalkers. When I say the stalkers are winning, 88, you know, you see that big number, that's 50% of the horses that are wiring or stalking. But stalking's always tricky because there's 4 ways to win stalking. You could be 1 length off, 2 lengths off, 3 lengths off the lead, or 4 lengths off the lead, right? There's 4 ways to win stalking. There's only 1 way, or maybe 2 if a horse was a second by ahead and carried on. I'll call that a wire. But you can see just by there's more ways to stalk than there is to wire. That just, you know, you expect to have a bigger number for the stalkers. You also get some speed horses that decide to pull up and stalk, you know, come from 1 length out or 2 length out. So some of these stalkers are speed horses that decided to stalk. And you got the same thing on the inside, backside. Sometimes you get a closer, you know, a horse that normally is 5 lengths out, and now today he can be 4 lengths out because the pace is slower. And so we expect to see more stalkers. So right now what I'm saying, I have no edge on this turf route race unless, like last Friday, I think it was, when I looked at that'd be 214. If you notice on that particular day, and you see from the 13 and the 14, we got 5 winners from post 1 through 3 out of 7 races. The inside kind of heated up. And we also seen that speed and stalkers, that's how I was able to hit that. Remember, we looked at the charts. I said, wow, it looked like inside and it looked kind of like speed, and we jumped on that 16 to 1. You know, so we can still find biases, but we don't go into the track expecting a bias like we do on the dirt. And goddamn, oh no, we still got 10 minutes, so I got a lot of time. So we're gonna go ahead. I think I'm gonna have to dig here because I don't think I was able to look up the shippers and the longer races out. So this one horse, average, slow last race. I got the outside of the track being good. He was in the 6 hole. That was on the dirt. This is dirt sprinter stretching out for the first time. At 7-2, so automatically we get a little tricky call. I don't know breeding, so I can't. This is where the one is kind of a horse that I don't really know what to do with here. I'm going to try to look up the 2 and the 3, so let's just drop to the 4. The 4 horse is a first-time starter. I don't know what to do with him. The 5 horse was scratched. Let's see if there's any potential here. So the 6 looks like the favorite. He's been running on the turf, which is nice. He showed speed last race. We don't have the first call just because they don't give us the first call in this form. But he was average last race. He just missed by 3/4 of the length. Pretty much had the lead the whole race. Not a bad race. He gets in position at the top of the stretch his entire freaking career. He's been second or third his whole career. 2 races ago, I got a bad rail. He was in the 6 hole. Shouldn't have affected him. It was a stalking closing day. He tried to stalk, so he rode the bias, or what I thought was a good, thing to do. He was average, and earned a triangle while stalking. Horses that earn a triangle while stalking or closing, they come back and they run well for the most part. The 7 horse. Oh, and he's been at this level. The 7 horse been at this level his entire career. Last race, he was kind of slow than average. Oh, yeah. Bill, you're right. 6 is the only turf horse. So this race automatically gets tricky for me. I'm a running line handicapper with biases. So we don't have a real bias that we can tell right now. The 6 horse, last race was a 6 furlong race. So, I don't even know if he's a true, well, he's run some decent 6 furlongs. I just don't have enough there. I'm going to try to look up some more on him. Let's just drop down to the 8. The 8 actually ran the turf last race. He was just slow. This race, I don't have enough information. To me, the 6 just looks the best because I know he doesn't mind running on the turf. Okay, let's look up this Woodbine horse. I'm going to start with the 3 here. So June 23rd, we're going pretty far back. This horse is coming off a pretty big layoff. That was a turf race. He earned a heart, and a heart on an outside closing day. He had the inside, and he was more of a stalker. Hearts automatically, when horses earn hearts, it's almost the same as earning an asterisk, in my opinion. So I don't have to put the asterisk. I like that race. I like that race at 19-1. It's just a way back. It's a way back. We're going to look up May 25. He earned a second on that day. So he earned a second, a heart, and a triangle for being fast. So I trust his heart. You know how I said that sometimes we want to look at his overall work? This horse has consistently been fast to his 2 races. So we're done with Woodbine. Now we can look up some Churchill races. I want to figure out how I can mark on my screen live like I can when I do the other format. I like being able to mark on my screen live. When I bought this computer, they told me I can do that with an iPad, but I gotta get the iPad, then I gotta figure out how to do it. So anyways, this two horse hasn't ran since June of 29th. So again, we're talking about a pretty long layoff. We don't have the first fraction. 49 and 4 is slow. The second fraction is slow. And 74 and 3 was slow. We're going to look up May 26th. $25, 48, and 4. We got slow, slow, and slow on a stalking closing day. That does not go well for him. He got good speed figures, but I don't really like the two. The one horse, I don't really have a lot to say about this one. He's stretching out. I just don't know. You guys know breeding or whatever you guys use to determine that. You guys probably got a better opinion of him than I do, or probably a stronger opinion. To me, I would ignore this two horse. Before, I can't do any extra work on. Let's see. June 22nd, I'm going to look up 3 races ago on the 6th. I might not have a real play here. Too many horses are doing something for the first time. Got an average, average, and average. Yeah, I don't think this 6 is. So in my head, I think the 6 deserves to be chalk. Does he deserve to be 3 to 5? It just depends. To me, I can't do nothing with the 3 to 5. So here I would say that to me, he's the horse to beat. And I wouldn't say he really has any kinks in his armor. Like, is he a false favorite? I can't really say he's a false favorite. I think he's been running good enough races. I think this is a race for him to win unless someone can, do something they've never done before, pretty much on surfaces they never had before. The horse that probably intrigues me the most would probably be the 3 horse. I mean, at 20 to 1, they're almost begging me to bet the 3 horse. Let's look up this November 24th race in Kentucky. Yeah, I just think this is a race where if I bet I'm gonna take that 20 to 1 and let the odds dictate me. I'd have to cut the bet down. There's just too many unknowns here for me to go crazy kind of deal. 1124 on this 7 horse, he would have earned a second, an average, and an average on a stalking closing day. I mean, and then is there anything else I can look up on the 8? No, 8's just coming from New York. Pretty much bad form. And even though I'm thinking about playing the 3, I will admit that this horse has not been in position at the top of the stretch. Oh, I wish I could mark on this. You know what? I tried that before and it didn't work. Yeah, this is a race I just can't get excited about. No way, no how. I just can't. And it looks like it's going to be, I can't even make out these numbers at a fairgrounds. But it looks again, I think the 4 won that race. I don't know what post position he was in. Let's see. I'm flipping over there because I really don't have nothing. I think the 4 held on. It looks like he was in post position 5, but I don't know. Doesn't look like there was any scratches. I'm not even sure if that's what I saw. I think it was 471. Hey, no, I'll flip on that. What you want? Which race does it start in? The pick 5. You just want to see the marks? I know you asked about them this morning. Here, I'll flip to the. I'll scan the pick 5 for you, Lou. Pick 5 looks like it starts in the 6th race. So you got a turf race. The strongest thing on the turf is you want to be on the lead or within 3 lengths of the lead. The 1 horse. I got a feeling that's a real strong race. I didn't look it up. I'm going to try to look it up now for you real quick. I'm probably not going to go as deep as 3 races at this time, Lou. I'll just give you a quick idea of what that. His last race, September 6th, was a long time ago. That was a slow race. But I don't think that really has to do with his talent there. Let me look up that July 9th race for you real quick. The inside of the track was good that day. He was in the 7 hole. Give him an asterisk. 22 and 3 would have been a second. 45 and 4 would have been a triangle. And 70, it would be 58 and 1 would have been slowest winner of the day. Not a bad race. The biggest thing with him is if he likes the turf, and you got to ask your question: why was his September race so bad, and what is he going to be after the layoff? The 2 horse been off a year. That's September of 2018, so he's been off over a year. I throw my notes away after a year. That's all on you, what you think of him. The 3 horse, match strides with the slowest winner. 24 is usually pretty slow, especially when he was battling on the lead. Oh, my guess is that does not look like a good race. I think a lot of these horses, oh no, they're not. The 4 horse. Oh, I'm sorry. I should be doing it here. 4 horse, just saw match strides. He was the slowest winner that day. Dude, where are they getting all of these horses that have been off of these layoffs? They are not making this pick 6 easy for you. They're not making it easy for me to mark up either. Okay, the 5, every right to improve, but looks like he has no front speed. By the way, the 4 was the slowest winner last race, but at least this horse has speed. We want speed on the turf. The 6 horse, I don't like route to sprint. His better races and the races where he looks like a contender are all route races. The 7 horse, better races are the route races. He does have route speed. I don't like how that translates to this. And the 8 horse, he had some decent marks with that second last race. I kind of like him. I'm kind of shocked the 6 is going for the lead here. He wants to be the boss, huh? And I didn't even get a bet in. 3 was the only horse I would have even been tempted in playing here. But not even that tempted because I just let him go. Well, they went 22-3. That's on the faster side, Elliot. When I was talking, I like to watch that first fraction. That's a little difficult to wire from. If he wires from that, I would lean towards this might be a conveyor belt. And he went even faster at the second call. They went 22-3. These are legit fractions here. These are real legit fractions. Three needs a hole. 3 needs a hole. 3 needs a hole. 3 got his hole, but he has no explosion there. All right. Those were fractions set up for a closer. Those were legit fractions. I want to see another route race. I want to see if they go that close to that fast. I mean, the one did himself no favors. 3 ran a good race. Like I said, 3 was the only horse I was interested in there. Two, 3. And that was pretty inside. And if you guys remember when I flashed the last 2 days, it was all kind of inside. That might be something else to look for on that turf route today. It's hard to judge off of one race. But Rex said boom. What did Rex say? What did Rex say? Oh, he has a feeling. Rex called out the exacta there. Rex, you better play that and not just say it. I hope you played it. That's got to be $100 and some exacta for $1, right? That's got to be a solid exacta. Yeah, you did call that. $104 exacta. I hope you hit it. Tell me you got that for $5 or something like that. And that's what I was saying about the 6. You know, I felt the 6 deserved to be favorite. I had way too many unknowns. I was only willing to take a shot at the 3, especially at 20-1, but I got distracted and didn't really care not to play that race. You know, sometimes you got to know what position you're in. You know, it's 4 to 5 worth taking such a short price with so many unknowns in a race. You know, I said I thought he deserves to be chalk, but being deserving to be chalk and winning a race is two different things. You know, I thought the one was completely over bet, but to be honest, the one set big time fractions. You know, he did set big time fractions. Well, if you remember, I told you, I said that that Woodbine horse was popping those hearts. He had 3 hearts his last race, and 2 races ago, what did I say? He had a triangle and a heart, I think it was. So yeah, I want to just go Lou, the 7th race. You wanted to see the marks here. So there's the one. I hope you're watching, Lou. I'm just going to scroll slowly because I know you wanted to see the marks. You're trying to put a pick 5 ticket together. I'd still be focusing on the inside of the track for those 2 dirt races. That's where my head at. I think the best horse, mark-wise, probably looks to be the 8 and the 9. But myself, I would focus unless we see a few more races where the outside won. 5 furlongs on the turf for the 8th race. I'd still be looking for speed. We don't have anything for this horse. This one horse, this horse got the lead, but I was saying you want to be a sub 22. 21 and 1 to 21 and 4 is about average. So when I look up a horse having the lead going 22 and 3, to me that's just slow on this one horse at Gulfstream. This horse, the 4 horse, has really nice marks. I don't like route to sprint. He earned all of these nice marks on the routes. I'm just putting a little warning there. Here's a horse, slowest winner of the day. Asterisk, that was on the dirt. When I look at his turf races, to me, a lot of his turf races are on the slower side of things. The 7 looks like he got no speed. He earned those triangles. This is what I'm talking. This is why I don't like route to sprint. I don't mind sprint to route. Route to sprint, I don't like. See him looking like a real fast horse here. That was 2 races ago. That was at 7.5 furlongs. See him when we go to go to a sprint race. He's on the slower side. This horse never gets the lead. I mean, he did on this one race, last race. These triple circles are wrong. I got a feeling those should be 3 squares. Those should definitely be 3 squares. I round down. I know what the problem is there. But if you notice, this horse, for the most part, 5 furlongs, can't get the lead. 5 furlongs, he's a closer. 5 furlongs, he's a closer. 5 furlongs, he's a closer. Take his overall work. I'd have a hard time believing that horse gets the lead. 9 got really good marks, Lou, but he earned them out of route. Now, when it's time to go at the race, I'm going to look up this November 20th race. We got Shippers. Sorry about that. I'm going to have to do some work. Some of these races I can't look up. Some of them, they're just going way back. So like, you know, I told you guys that I had a problem with my saving, lost all my, or I handicapped the wrong date this morning, and I was scrambling to get my marks up. Sorry that I don't have as many done. Lou, we're going to want to look up this horse. In fact, I want to look up that right now for you. Because this horse, average slow, I got a feeling this October 24th race is probably makes him look a lot better. This race right here, Lou, this October 24th race is a heart. Oh, wait, no, I'm looking at it wrong. No, I'm looking at it right. It was a bad inside. He had the inside. It was a stalker closer day. He tried to go wire to wire, asterisk all day long. I knew this looked like a good race. That's a heart. That's a triangle. And then he's average. And here's the 10th race. So on the turf, on this turf route, so the turf routes, I'm pretty sure we're going to be looking for speed and horses within 3 lengths of the lead at the first call. I'm pretty safe on that. Watching this first route race, I don't know if the track's playing fast, super fast time. We're going to want to watch any other route races. I still don't know which way to direct. One got some decent marks, but we're looking at a little, got to explain his last race there. I just don't know. I like knowing to place my to which way to go, you know. And right now I don't know. There's some good marked horses in this race though. Got horses running against biases. You know, running against the bias on this 8 horse, but he's trying turf route for the first time. This might be a fast race. You're really going to want to pay attention. I don't know what this next race is. Is this a 5th race? What is this 5th race? This 5th race, you're lucky. This first, I would watch the fractions of this 5th race. You'll be able to watch this race, and depending on how this race play, it might give you a clue on how to play this last turf route race. I would watch that real close and then look at that. But anyways, let's get back to I'm sorry. There we are. Okay, we're in the 5th race. Let me go to the restroom real quick and check on that dog. What's his Bentley? What the fuck is Bentley? really had me worried. He was way too quiet. He was just sleeping in the bed, so that's all right. You want to come down and join us? Hey Parsons, what's up? You haven't missed much. I wasted an 8-1 by going for exactas, second choice. He won, but I completely missed the exactas. Then a chalk one. It's all depending on what you thought of last race with that 2. I like the 3 there at 11-1. Didn't make a play. But so far I haven't done anything. It all depends on what you would have thought of that 2-horse last race. So I'm just going to use we got another mile race, a maiden claiming 50,000 on the turf. We only seen one turf route race today. The fractions went way too fast. No surprise that they closed. The horse that set the fractions, the 1 horse and the 3 actually survived. The 1 horse managed to still get 3rd, I think. The 3 was just behind those super legit fractions and held on. I kind of want to say speed might be holding, but you know, I still got to realize that they did close last race. This is going to be a tricky race anyways, because I see 2 first-timers in this race. I do ignore first-timers. This 1 horse, stalking closing day last race, this horse tried to go to the top, earn 2 hearts in a triangle, automatically excused there. 23-2, 48-1. Those are fast. Let's see what else is in here. I kind of wouldn't mind. So anyway, so in my head, right? So the last try came in 2-3-1. All right. If you remember, all last weekend, I want to say that the inside heated up. I want to say that I pointed that out. We might. It's a little hard to call off of 1 race, and it's a little tricky to call a bias on this turf race, because for the most part it's been pretty fair. I pointed that out. But the last 3 days, the outside won no races, and the inside's been winning all the races for the last 3 days. So I got that in my head. So anyways, you know, I'm a little interested in this one at 10-1. If he can get a little slower, like 23 and change, it might be a good thing today. 23 and change might be really good. Okay, so the 2, I just ignore first timer. Same thing with the 3. I will point out that the 3's taking all the action. It's Chad Brown. I don't know much about trainers, but I'm pretty sure that everyone around the track says Chad Brown, first time on the turf, is a thing. It's a thing. That might be why this horse is taking all the action. I don't need that thing to find a 5-2. I guess if he wins, I'll say, oh, Chad Brown, first time starter on the turf is a thing, but 5-2, I'm not that interested. There's got to be some better options than 5-2 here. The 4 horse, average last race. Got in position at the top of the stretch. Stepping up. This horse, last 3 races were at a bit lower of a class. For the most part, maidens don't have any class. They're trying to find their class, but He's supposedly been running against slightly easier. Uh, if the track is backing up, his last two races is a decent running style for that. Two races ago, Stalking Day, he was average, matched strides with the slowest winner, and then just fell out of it. I don't know, only the last two races at the lower level he's been able to get in position at the top of the stretch. 10-1 if you like him. I don't think he's the worst bet. The 5 horse, average, slow last race. It doesn't look like much. 2 races ago, matched strides with the slowest winner of the day. Came from out of the clouds. Got in position at the top of the stretch. That's a really nice debut. I don't see nothing wrong with that race. I guess if you think the track's backing up or not is probably the thing. He is 9-1, so there's value on him. The 6 horse, average last race. Never got in position in 2 races. Again, he has every right to improve. I'm not going to take a shot with him, but does have every right to improve. The 7 horse, matched strides with the slowest winner the whole step of the race, only missed by a neck. The rail was bad. He was in the 7 hole. Not a terrible race. 2 races ago, again, he was really close. Average. Decent speed figures. I don't like speed figures, but I'll point them out. The 8 horse, slow, match stride, slow, has not got in position in 3 races. I need someone to get in position. The 9 horse, he gets in position. He has a little bit of speed. Rail was bad last race. He was in the 2 hole. Asterisk there. 14-1. I'm a little interested in him. Got solid speed figures. I've took shots with worse long shots before. Yeah, good luck on that, Lou. Yeah, I kind of like the 9 at that price. And then we got the 10 horse. He's dropping. Decent debut. Average. Position at the top of the stretch. Every right to improve. 9-2 is probably a fair price on him. And then we got the 11 horse, trying turf for the first time, trying a farther distance, running against less, been kind of on the slower side. I don't care for him. Maybe if he likes the turf, but I can't do anything with him. So here's another race. I mean, we get a lot of these. You get more of these races than any other races. To me, this is not prime bet territory. It's kind of I see a few interesting horses in here. I kind of like the 9 at that price, and I like the 1. They've showed me enough. Their shots are worth it. The only way I could do this bet is just to cut it down mid-range level, try to protect myself that way. But I think there's potential here. I'm going to look ahead for a double. I'm kind of feeling like a double. I know exactly what I'm looking for these turf sprints. So the 1 I think fits the profile pretty good. The 3 I can't deal with, a horse that's been off for over a year. I don't know what I feel about this 3-horse. I think he's probably too slow. I'm interested on the 4-horse. He is going against winners for the first time. 5-horse, I don't like closers at Gulfstream on the turf. The 7-horse or the 6-horse, I think he's too slow. The 7's a router with speed. I mean, these type of horses are, ugh. I might even be I'm a little interested in this 8-horse. I'm interested in this 8. So I think I'm going to take a little shot at doubles. I'm going to 8, the 4, and the 1 here in the second leg. And my tablet turned off. Let me get this together. 8, 4, and 1 is what I think I'm going to use in that second leg. And I'm using the 1 and the 9 in this leg. Is there anyone else? Let's see, I got to get to this race even. Why do I got this screen so little? Why are you give me my quinellas? You're not giving me doubles? Why aren't you giving me doubles? Let me try this again. Don't take too damn long. Why the fuck is the double board not working? Is anyone else using twin spires? Why is the doubles not working? Probables. There they are. The 1 to the 1, 4, and 8, yeah, those are all paying a ton. The 9 to the 1, 4, and 8 are paying a ton. 3 to the 1, 4, and 8 are. I'm even thinking about throwing the 3 in. This is what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to play the 1 and the 9 to the 1, 4, and 8 for the home run. I think I'm going to throw a little bet on the 3 to those same horses, but more as kind of a saver bet. And I'm going to do the same with the 4. Dude, I could go 4 and 5, actually. Do I want to throw in the 5? I know I'm going to do the 4. The 4 and the 5 looks kind of like the same horse. The only reason this bet would make sense if I'm right about the second leg, or I'm right about Chad's brown horse not running. That's what making it a tough call. And I think I'm going to do. I am doing the 1 and the 9 just to win. I think both of those are worth a win bet. 1 and 9. Then a 1 and 9 with the 1, 4, 8 in the double. I'm going to do a little. You know what? I'm not doing the 4. I'm going to go a little bit 3 and 5 with the 1, 4, 8. 3 and 5 with the 1, 4, 8. I'm going to let the class dictate that I don't play this 4. 3 and 5 with the 1, 4, 8 for kind of a saver that'll make money. That's it. I ain't got time for anything else. I don't even want to do anything else. So 1 and 9, I'm playing a 1 and 9 for a home run here. And I think we need to really watch this fraction. Let's see what we get. I'm kind of hoping, I think I need this track to be a little speed favoring right now. I think I want this 1 to get the lead, 23 and change or 24. Well, I prefer 25, but I'll take 21 and 3 or 24. And the 1 isn't even going for the, well, he's going for the lead. He's just not fast enough. This already feels like it's fast. 1's working hard. And who was the, oh, 10's a horse that, I think 10's the second time out horse. Yeah. Dropping from 7,500. Well, I got 23 and 4 in the front end. I mean, I got the 1 on the lead, 23 and 4 at 13 to 1. I just wish the 10 wasn't dueling with me. Oh, go ahead. $48 and 2. I can't complain about the fractions here. I don't think the 1 has anything. I think I'm just going to be wrong here. 10 has me hooked. No one's coming out of the clouds. I said I was going to use the 4. Just don't let this 4 win. Okay, good, good, good. That was not a bad race to go after just because Chad, I can't believe I got suckered into betting Chad Brown. First time starter. I don't do that, and I did that. I can't believe it. I didn't waste that much money on it, but I still don't know how this track's playing. No one came from the back end. I don't have a problem with the 10 or the 7 winning this race. Who won this? Was it the 10 or the 7? 7 won that race. Ten did all the dirty work too. And I think the 7 was only 5 to 2 or 2 to 1. Yeah, I don't have a real problem with that. What we got there? Paul, can you explain if a horse run a quarter in 23 and 6.4, then the half in 47 and 2.5, why are their numbers different when you guys show it on the screen like 23.4? I don't know how to compute this to follow you. Okay, so I think what I do goes back years ago. I think the way they used to time the races were all in fifths. So a fifth would be 23 and 1. That'd be 1/5. 23 and 2 would be 2/5. 23 and 3, you know. So now that they time the race is different, they're doing it in hundredths. I just go back to saying it in fifths. So a 23 and 6/4 is a 23 and 3. All you do is divide that 6/4 into 2 and round down. So that's all we're doing. So a 47.25 is a 47.1. The reason why I just don't, you know, do it is, first of all, habit, but us old timers used to use a general rule when adjusting beat and lengths. We used to say that for every length equals a fifth. So it just makes it easier. So it makes it easier when you adjust your program for the beat and lengths. But mainly it's just an old habit. I do it in fifths. The timer that you're watching at the track, for the most part, does it in hundredths. So that's all it is. I don't even realize I'm doing it. It's so automatic. Old wise men. So old wise men need to hit a ticket. We haven't done anything to really put us, well, we're behind, but nothing's bad right now. I thought that race had some potential. We beat Chad Brown, and the chalk, the 2-1 chalk still won. I really don't have a problem with that. I had to take. You guys know that follow me. I'm always going to err and always going to play towards bomb tickets. It's just my year. It's just my philosophy for being a winner at the year. You go for major hits. Now, could I have took the 7 on the 148? I'm trying to look up the doubles. They might have took them away. We'll just have to wait. I got a feeling I could have played the 7, but, you know, I would have used too many horses. Oh, you're in the barn? We're in like we're going in the 6th race. So here's the start of the pick 5. So overall, I still think that, so they went faster. They closed again. It wasn't inside, so maybe that thought of the inside of the track might be heating up, might just not be a thing right now. I don't think that gave me any more answers on how to play the turf routes. You know, that's kind of why I've been trying to avoid them for the most part. Let me see what Bentley's going nuts about. Oh, you barking at the kids? All right, what we got going on? Well, I think I need a 1, 4, or 8 to win here. So I wouldn't have been that interested in a 7-1 double, but 7 to the 4 and the 8, I would have been interested in those 2 doubles. If the 4 or the 8 wins this race right here, I'll feel a little bit better about taking the little stab that I did. I need to be right about one of these double legs. If I'm wrong about this leg, it's kind of I would have preferred not to play that race. You know, I got to justify things in my head. You know, why I make a bet, which bets I make. There needs to be justification. So I was wrong about the first leg. If I'm right about the second leg, especially if the 48 wins, I don't mind making that play. Even though, you know, it's a losing play. It's horse racers, I mean, we're used to losing plays. We all have way more losing plays than we do winning plays. I don't like the two. Who? The two in this race? Bill, is that the two in this race? Susie's Memory? I don't like a horse that hasn't raced in over a year. That's the only reason I'm against this horse. It's not that I don't like them. It's just you don't even know what kind of horse you're getting. I know on the show these year-off horses were beating us for a while, but no, I can't say I like him. I like 3 decent shots here. And I want to look at Fairgrounds. What has Fairgrounds been doing? I said I still want to take a look at Fairgrounds. We haven't put up any races. It's not even worth putting up the races because you can't even see who's doing anything. All I can do is check the results. So like I said, the first race, the track played how I expected, a $22 horse. The second race, the 8 horse won, but don't let that fool you about the bias that I was trying to play. He was actually in the 5 hole and he played $3.60. So that probably would have been a race we avoided anyways. The third race, the 4 won. He went wire to wire. I'm pretty sure he went wire to wire. I think I kind of seen that on the blurry television. He did pretty much go wire to wire on the inside, and he paid $23. I wish I didn't lose my stuff at Fairgrounds. I think we would have had a real shot at 2 10-to-1s. Just based on what I was thinking about the track. Oh, was he? What post position was he in? He was actually in the 5 post position because there was a 1 and a 1A. They both won and they both drew inside. So I might take that back. Maybe I couldn't have had him, or possibly I don't know. It's you can't say nothing on a race that you didn't handicap. Kind of deal. And then the 4th race, what happened there? It came in 4-2. The charts aren't up, so I can't say what post position. Oh no, the 4 was in the 3 post position, and the 2 was in the 2 post position. They scratched the 3, but he was an 8-to-5 winner, and exacta only paid $7.40. So, I mean, just looking at the results, I'm still interested in Fairgrounds. Would have liked to have been able to go through the races and had an opinion, but Rex, you see, you're different. See, Rex, right now, and for the longest time at Gulfstream, speed's been so dominant on the turf there at the 5.5 furlong races that for me, with that combined with that bias, they've almost been a mandatory play. The only ones that I kind of avoided were when every horse, you know, fit my profile, you know, and you just like too many of them, or, you know, everyone was a danger. I think this race, I thought this race was really questionable. So we got 5 furlongs on the turf. We got a claiming 30,000 non-winners of 2 lifetime, 5 furlongs. And I either want to have the lead or horses within 3 lengths of the first call. That's been super strong for probably about 3 years now. That's how long that bias has been playing there. This race is a little bit tricky. We got this one horse who is just a question mark. We're getting probably way too good odds on him from an 8-5 morning line. That does make me a little nervous that he's not being touched at all right now. His last race was September. It just looks like a bad race. The layoff makes me think they didn't like what they saw. But his other races, he fits this track, but he never ran on the turf. And this horse is a touchy fucking horse. This horse is a layoff line after every race. So I think he fits. 6-1 is like, if we get that price, I'm probably going to take a stab, but the warnings are there to avoid him. He has enough warnings there that you just can't trust him. But I think he fits if you can explain his last race. The two, he broke his maiden going wire to wire pretty much, won easily. They laid him off for a year and a year and a couple months. I mean, that says it all there. If you have a horse that can win and a horse that's right, you don't make money on the barn. I just avoid him. I hope he doesn't win. I hate when year off horses win, but I can't in good conscience bet them at almost any odds. The 3-horse, I just think the 3-horse, okay, he's trying turf. Man, he fits. I don't know why I thought he was too slow. When I was making the doubles, I thought he was too slow. I want to look up that Churchill Downs race, September 29th at Churchill Downs. I should look that up. I mean, he's 20-1. I hate it when I dig too much on a chalk, but I never mind it when I dig on a horse with potential. Let's look up that December 4th race too. Let's look him up. I had that he ran on a bad rail last race, so he was in the 8 hole. That didn't matter. I got him as slow that day. So his that Turfway Park race just looks slow. I'm going to look up that September 9th race. Or 29th race. I'm probably digging way too far. I got the inside of the track being bad. That 21-4 or that 21-3 is a heart. 46 or 45-1 is a heart. And 72 is a 72-1 is an average. I got a stalking closing day, so he would have earned an asterisk. Wow. This is a tough race. Where did they find these horses? I mean, it's like they got the big carryover and they picked a race with everyone's a question mark. You got a year off question mark. You got the 1-horse giant question mark. You got this 3-horse who's at 23-1. I don't like his last 2 races, but fuck. If that September 29th race was all I seen, I'd be all over this horse. The 4-horse is a horse I took a stab at. He's stepping up. I want to look up that November. Man, they do not make these calls easy. I tell you what, this is not going to be an easy call no matter what. 11/21's at least not that long ago. He was at just average slow that race, at the good part of the track. I'm kind of reversing my opinion here. I wanted to play this 4, but I'm getting a little tempted at that 23-1 on that 3. And here's another horse. I mean, where are they finding him? He hasn't ran since June. Let's bring him in. We got to pick 5 that we don't want anyone to hit. We want to make it tough for you guys. To me, he has every right to improve. He won his first race by doing it the hard way, closing at Gulfstream. I'm holding that against him. Maybe you shouldn't. I can see the argument that, fuck, he did it, but I'm going to call him a closer and just try to beat him based on that. The 6 horse hasn't ran since November. I don't like his races. He does not look. Let me get my chat back up. Is this Fairgrounds that, did it stop raining at Fairgrounds and all of a sudden it looks clear? No, that's Oaklawn. Oh, Chester, you just divide the decimal by 2. So 23 and 8, 9 is a 23 and 4. You don't even need to concern yourself about the 9. It's 23.80, 23 and 4. And no problem, dude. The 7 fits. The 7 has front speed. The 7, I think he can lay within 3, but he's mostly a 7.5 furlong horse. Usually, I don't like 7.5 furlong horses. I like that they are chalking him. I'm more willing to play against him, though. I can't do nothing with 8 to 5, 6 to 5. My eyes are so blurry, I can't tell what that is. But I'm playing against the 7. And the other horse I liked was the 8 horse. I think the 8 can lay within 3. He is stepping up. He showed some January 10th looks like a legit Gulfstream race to me. He's one of the few horses that I think ran a recent legit race. So I think now in my head, I like the 1, 3, 4, 8. And they're all long. It's just, I don't know how I'm going to bet this race. I think the next race, the next race is a sprint on the dirt. I might go doubles again. Now, the problem with this next race, I'm going to try a double, but I'm going to admit the problem is with this next race, I think the best 2 horses in the race are the 8 and the 9. And I think I'm going to try to beat both of them. I'm interested in the 1 and the 4 there. I think I'm definitely going to 1, 3, 4, 8. Man, why does this thing keep turning off? I like 1, 3, 4, 8 here. And I like 1 and 4 next race. Where are my doubles? Dude, they're all paying. I like 1, 3, 4, 8 here. And I definitely like the 1 and the 4 next race. The 2 is out. I think I might even throw in the 3 a little bit. These doubles are paying huge. They're actually playing the 2 horses they're playing next race is the 3 and the 4. I'm a little surprised by that because I think this horse that hasn't ran from a year beat me. I am going to be pissed. That's going to set me on tilt. I'll tell you that right now. The 7, if I get beat this race, I'd rather it be by the 7 than the 2. And see, they're coming back to this 1. They ignored him the whole thing. He's taking late money. I don't see this as a good sign. I won't be surprised if the 1 ends up being a favorite here, but I don't find this as a positive. If this horse is right, I think he kills these horses. I almost want him to be wrong, even though I'm using him and even though I like him. So I went 1, 3, 4, 8 to the 1 and the 3. Or I'm sorry, 1 and the 4 next race. Do I want to use that 3? I got a feeling I should use that damn 3. I really like the 4. 4 is my top choice next race. I'm going to go a 1, 3, 4, 8 to the 1 and 4. Then I'm going to do a 1. Okay, let me get these. 1, 3, 4, 8 to the 1 and 4. Then I'm going to do a 1, 4, 3, 8 to the 3 and 4. So I'm putting most of the weight on the 4 horse next race. And then I'm pretty sure I need to bet this the 2, 3, and the 8 all to win. I can't believe 2's 20 to 1. It's funny, 2 scares me the most because he's the biggest unknown here. There's 2 million in the pick 5 pool. Yeah, because when you get a $200,000 carryover, that's like free. That's like there's an extra that all that extra money's in the race. But a lot of times when they do this, when this happens, it could still be I don't know. I don't think this is going to be a chalky sequence. To me, I'm already having problems. I don't think I've seen a prime bet today. I'm really regretting messing up that first race today. I had the winner and messed it up. I really regret that because there has not been a real play after that. Good luck, Lou. I hope you got some fat there. I hope you gave yourself a chance to scoop it. I think if the 3-4-8 wins this first leg, I don't know who you use, but there's a chance to scoop it with one of those. I don't know who you got in this first leg. Did you ever throw up who you rooting for? So when I realized I handicapped the wrong form this morning is when I said, "Oh, I went for I took Bentley on a walk, and when I took Bentley on the walk, I had the right form on my phone, and I knew that there was 2 sprint races or 4 sprint races and 1 route race. That was the turf race. That's when I decided, oh, I should look at this, and I was going to try to put together a ticket." But then that's when I realized that I handicapped the wrong form. I'm glad you sent that to me because I might not have realized until we got started that I handicapped the wrong form. And I did. I bet this 2, 3, and 8 to win. I said I thought this one might be the chalk here. I hate the betting pattern on here. A lot of times when a horse opens up at 9-5 morning line, he's 6-1 most of the betting, and then they bet him late. It makes me really nervous. And fuck, the 7 that's a router got the lead. I was hoping my 8 would get in front of him. I'm fucked. I don't like route to sprint speed. That's what this horse was. The 3 didn't take off. This race is over, in my opinion. I don't even got to watch the finish here. See, but that's what I mean. I hate that betting tab on the one horse. I fucking hated it. Soon as this one horse gets the lead, you knew the race was over. Soon as this 7 got the lead, this race was over. And you know how I said I needed the 1-4-8 to say that I went at that double at the right time? I was completely wrong both legs. So that just goes pure bad bet to me. I'm not even fucking close. We got the speed bias. I'm right about it. I just needed anyone to get the lead other than the 7. Wrong 7. I mean, he did run 1 5-furlong race way back, first time out. I can't just underline that. He's been showing speed at a route, but it's just one of my things that I don't like router speed going to 5 furlong. This time it bit me in the ass. It just bit me in the ass. I was just wrong. Just plain old wrong. Could I have used that? I wasn't even thinking of using that 7 as a saver to the 1 and 4. But what? No, 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 no. No, that can't be right. If the 1 wins next race, the 7-1 double is paying $97. The 7-4 was only paying $11. I don't regret not having the 7-4, but if I'm right about that 7-1 paying 97. Ooh, I did not see that. All right, that was Stormy Nelly. Tell me I'm in the right race. Yeah, no, that's how much it's supposed to be paying. Well, I knew this was a tough race. You had more questions in this race. I don't even know where they find a race like. What's so funny? They find a race like this, and I think there's so many questions in this type of race. And I take my stab against the 7 for the reason I did. And the public just the public's good. Four was stepping up. The 1, I knew there was danger everywhere. I dug all the way back to September 29th to even use the 3. He didn't run a lick. The 8 at least tried for me. I'm just completely wrong that race. Just completely wrong that race. I just put the 2 in the winner's circle. There's no 2 next race, and the 2 did nothing. I don't know what you're talking about, Bill. I put the 7 in the winner's circle by saying I hated that move, and that he's really the whole reason why I bet the race. I thought we could get in front of the 7, but dude, if I was at the track with live tickets, I would have been ripping up my tickets before they hit the top of the turn. I was complaining about that race as soon as the 7 got the lead. I knew I was dead money. I knew I was dead money. Oh, we're not having a good day now. I got to cash a ticket. Good thing, the only good thing about today is, other than the first race, none of these other losses really added on moving. Let's see something. Where's my what? I've been reading my chat the whole time. Fucking drive your ass over here. That's Bill. Oh, I want to see who won Fairgrounds last race. And if it paid, the 5th race, we went through all the other races at the fairgrounds. Yeah. So last race at the fairgrounds, it came in 3-1 for the exacta. The exacta paid $24.40 for $1. Like I said, and keep saying, I like how fairgrounds been running. I think I'm on to something about that dirt track. It looks like kind of like Gulfstream to me. I don't know if you guys are into fairgrounds right now, but I need fairgrounds to be on in end of March for the tournament. I need that bias to stay. I don't know. I never tracked fairgrounds previous years. I haven't played fairgrounds for probably at least 10, 15 years. But I actually am really liking what's going on there. Where you can just wake up and say, hey, I think the track's going to favor a certain part of the track. It's a really strong handicapping angle. All right, so we got the 7th race, a 6.5, $8,000 claimer, 6.5 furlongs. I already kind of went over this race. I thought the 8 and the 9 were the best marked horses. God, this is going to be tough because usually I love the best marked horses. But for me just to bet the 8 and 9 post position is really tough for me to do. No, you should be able to get a hold of me on email. Dude, are you doing the right email? Hey, Bob, didn't I answer? Wait a minute, Bob. You're not right on that. I just responded to your email. Wait a minute. Oh, no, it was Dan. Dan, I responded to Dan's email. Well, I can't even spell my own name right. And Bob, I think I responded to email from you a while back, a Canadian email. Oh yeah, I better not. I won't put that out there. I got to make sure. Handicappingpaul at hotmail.com. No, Outlook. Okay, that's where the mistake is. I'm Outlook. Yeah, no, Bob. I try to respond. I try to respond to all my emails. Sometimes it just takes me a day or two, but it looks like you went Hotmail and I'm Outlook. I think that's the problem you got there. I like Canada, man. Woodbine need to get that tournament back together, and I'll head out there twice a year, every fucking year. They used to try. Woodbine used to. Woodbine used to have one of the premier tournaments. That's one of the tournaments I've never done good at. But I used to go out there. I don't know, maybe for 5 or 10 years straight, at least 5 years straight. Twice a year, I used to go out to Toronto. But no, not because you're Canada. Hey Lou, no, there's no real updates on the tournament. We're just practicing. If you guys want to get involved with it, send me an email. I don't take any commitments seriously until like a week before. And you know, I don't take anything seriously until I see it in my PayPal. But you know, you guys that want to get in that tournament with me, you know, let me know, hit me up on Outlook, or, you know, send me something today just that you're interested. And when I get ready, I'll email you. Plus, you know, we'll be you know, on all the shows, I'll be letting you guys know. I'm hoping to have 3 entries. If I have 3 entries, I'll have 50% of the shares, and the rest of the shares I'm willing to let you guys buy into. We'll do the tournament the same. If we have let's just say we get the 3 entries. We're allowed to do more. It just depends on what you guys are willing to do. Hey, dude, that'd be a cool at Woodbine. I was trying to get the wife to see if she was interested in going on Queen Plate Day, but then I heard that Queen Plate would be too big of a clusterfuck for me to go to, because I need to get my seats and all that shit, and they're gonna rate me on there. My email address, I just put it up. It's right there, Paul Arnold, handicappingpaul@outlook.com. I'll suck up and go through the immigration like I always do. They'll pull my car aside, search my car. I used to go to all the bars in Canada when I was young, and I took a few weapons over by accident. And I'm on the list. I guess I'm on the list because ever since then I've been checked every freaking time. I've got to go to immigration, go in the office, allow myself an extra hour every time, but at least they don't tear my car apart. Mr. Clutch, you're gonna want to call Debbie. So it sounds like you might be thinking of going there. I think you can check in the morning off, but I think. If you're flying out or driving out that morning, she'll take your information. Debbie will take your information over the phone. You can commit over the phone. They even let you cancel over the phone. I think you have up to tournament day to you know, cancel if you know, Vegas is used to handling people. They know that people's trips get canceled. But you're gonna want to just either look up the rules at the Orleans or call Debbie. Debbie's the lady that run it. She's also one of the sports books people. You could go to Orleans website. I'm typing in the number right now. 188 566 7223. And that's her line. Usually you'll get her voicemail. I always just you know, call her, leave a voicemail. She's really good at calling up back the horse players. So that's her number to get a hold of her. So, but it sounds like you're thinking of going. That'll be cool, man, because I think we got a few other guys going too. I think there's a few guys that said they're going to come and just hang out and play, not be in the tournament. Then there's some other guys that are talking about being in the tournament. If you call Debbie and you go and sign up, hey, tell her Paul the bald guy sent you. Jesus Christ. Yeah, what's up? What banner screen? Oh, shit. How long has that been up? Sorry about that. Thanks for calling, Bill. Oh, you're live to the 1-4 here. You know what? I didn't see the payoff. You got nothing for the 4, but your payoff for the 1 I'm jealous of. Yeah, I seen that. All right, so Bill's alive to the 1 and 4 here. I needed you here, man. My bets are all fucking falling apart. All right. Bye. Oh, Rex has problems at the border too. Luckily, I didn't have a gun when I went over there. I just had fucking mace and a fucking flapjack. Baby weapons. I just had baby weapons. Oh, I'm worried about the 3. Okay, so this race, I got all distracted. But anyways, I thought that the 2 horses I actually like the best are on the outside. And their odds are so tempting. It's this 8 and 9 horse, especially the 9 horse. He ran against the inside track. He was fast. He might be one of those that can get over, but he's not a need the lead type. He's been running a lot of route races, but he's pretty fast at 6 furlongs. But I can't in good judgment bet them. I'm still, I just believe in the inside of the track so much. Yeah, Canada, the home of legal weed and rub and tugs. Isn't that what Canada's known for? So anyways, that's why I wanted to get alive to the 1 and 4. I think the 4 is the safer bet here. I like the I don't love the 3. I know the 3 is going to be dangerous. I kind of did include him in the doubles just because he's an off the pace horse. It just depends on if he's within 4 or he's within 5. If he's farther back than 5, I think he's going to have a hard time, especially at 2 to 1. If he's within 3 lengths, which, this horse, sometimes he's rating, sometimes he's closing. I think he'll have more of a problem. I thought the 1 might have a shot to get the lead here or at least be close enough. And if the rail's good, in our second race, I think the only other dirt sprint race today, the 1 ran and hid. All the outside horses ran well, but I'm pretty sure the rail's good. 4 is the horse that I think is the safest. He'll be in the 3 hole. He has speed. I think he's the most likely winner here. But I'm at a spot where all I can do is bet the 1 to win. Or I can go against my bias and bet the 8 and a 9 to win, the 2 horses that I like the best, which I'm not going to do. The exactas, the 4-3 exacta. Let's see, where am I at? Am I even in the right race? This is the 7th race. The 4-3 exacta I can't even play. The 4-3 exacta is paying $6. Although exactas I could play 4 on top of the 1. I like the 1. That's paying $47. The 8 is paying 15, and the 9 is paying 32. Or 5 is paying 61. What is this 6 for? I think this race is worth a play. I think I'm going exactas here. I'm going 4 on top of the 1, 5, 8, and 9. I got to beat this 3 horse. I think I can beat this 3 horse. And then I'm going 1. I'm going 1 to win. And I think I'm going to play some exactas with this 1. I think we can get a home run here. I'm playing 1 over the 3, the 4, the 5, the 8, and the 9. I know that sounds like a real grenade ticket, but the 4 or the 1 on top of the 3 and 4 are the 2 lowest exactas. They're paying $81 or $88 basically for $1. The 1-5 is paying $400. That's worth it. And on top of the 8 and 9 are both paying $167 and $230. So I'm willing to go pretty wide on him. Who's the class drop on the 5? Yeah, he dropped a few races ago. So last few days, I've been editing down some of these big live streams. I've been doing it, and I'll be posting them back. I think I'm just going to call them the throwback races. That's what my I posted one yesterday. But if you guys are just looking at some of the new videos, they're going to be called throwbacks. They're just going to be short. They're mostly going to be hits or really bad beats. And they're just going to be taken down from the stream. And I'm going to start erasing. I don't need to have 100 of these 5-hour live streams up on the thing. I'm going to try to edit them down to 10, 20-minute clips with nice hits or races that I like. I wish I would have labeled them better, but I didn't. But I'm gonna try to be putting those up. And Rex is going for the all outside, so he says, "Fuck this inside bias." Oh, and I bet the okay. So I bet the 1 to win too. I need this 1 to run well. And I did bet this 1 to come in second too, or did I just bet him to did I bet this 1 to come in second? Well, I'm betting it. I'm betting the 3, 4, 8, and 9 on top of the 1. 3, 4, 8, and 9 on top of the 1. If I already bet it, I just got it for more money than I thought. 1 will be the home run here. If 4 wins, we'll be alive to a few horses. Are you nervous? Is that why you're chewing on that? All right, 4 got the lead. I'll be happy with a 4-1. Trust me, I'll be happy with a 4-1. (22-3). That's we can win with 22-3. Come on with this one. Come on, one, just keep this one together for me. Yes! Oh! Ooh, boy. Daddy got it. Come on, baby. I'm the best around. That was 8-1, baby. That was 8-1, wasn't it? Well, tell me that was an 8-1. Now, if that's 8-1, I think I got this for twice as much as I even played, because I think I bet it, and then I forgot that I bet it, and that was the last bet that I threw in. Come on, one. Billy got freaked out and went to the kitchen, or went to the dining room. That's why you play towards the bombs. You only play tickets that make sense. Please do not let it be the 5, because I like the 5, but I don't have an 8-5. I used the 5, but I don't have 5 in second with the 8. And the whole time I said I like the 8, and the 8 and the 9 were the top. I thought the best 2 horses in the race. But I'm such a bias. I'm such a slave to this bias, and I don't think it's a bad thing. Oh. My heart's pounding. Oh, yes, 8-1. Come here, Bentley. Come on. Come here, I'll give you a treat. Hey, I think that 8-1 is only paying, I think it's paying $138 every dollar, and I think I got it twice as much. Come on, you get a come up on that. I deserve that puff right there. Come here, guys. I know some of you guys had to jump in on that one. Ooh. And I know someone, who did I say was going with the outside horses? Oh, Rex, but he didn't use the 1. Oh, he didn't use the 8 either. I thought he had the 8. That's a highlight video right there. 1920 to place. So instead of playing the place bet, I just took all the horses that I liked and put the 1 in second. And now I got to go to my recall today bet, because I'm pretty sure I got that twice as much as I should, and I do. $20 exacta, $20 exacta. Yeah, that's about a $3,000 hit right there. Bentley's not a pussy, he's just a lover. Actually, he's been bad the last 2 days. All right, you've been bad the last 2 days. Oh. Hey, Bill, you should have been here. I don't think you get paid for days you got off. Guys, I don't think any of that was Bill's money. Well, thanks for joining the show, Bill. Thanks for joining the show. How much did that try pay? That try has to be sick. Yeah, Bill got it made. He plays with me 1 or 2 days a week, but for some reason, since I co-mingled our account, he even gets paid on his days off. What a prick. What a prick. Wow. You said $700 for 50 cents? Wow. Now here's the whole thing. I went in that whole spiel that I believe in the inside of the track so much, I had to ignore my top mark. Thank God I still had enough sense to wheel that 1 first and second with the horses. I mean, if I decided to go win bets, you know, we had the 1 to win. Actually, I couldn't have done any better. I'm so glad I didn't do the place bet and I decided to do the exactas. I would have had a nice hit with the place bet, but nowhere near what I just got on the exacta. And I'm glad I'm not giving myself enough time to play daily doubles. Hey, thanks, Lou. Hey, Lou, were you able to, I know you wanted to see the marks, but I have no idea. Did you use that, did you by any chance use the 8 in the pick 5s, or did you just, you know, use something else? Oh my God, that turned this show around. We went, you know, and I had more faith in the 4 horse than I did the 1 horse. At this point of the race, I said, well, the 4 is going to go on with it, and then the one just had none of it. I'm surprised the 4 was not that. I'm actually a little surprised that the 4 didn't run that well. But see, this is also a bet where when I played the exactas with the 4, I played them like, I didn't play them in saver bet territory. I didn't do $5 exactas. I actually put quite a bit of money in this race. I think total I bet pretty close to $300 with all the combinations and everything. You know, so if the 4 would have won, I would have had a 4-8 exacta because you know, and those exactas were paying, but it would have kind of been more like a little profit. I don't even know if I would have got 500 back on that. But this is what I say, you know, when you're between two horses and one's a 2-to-1 and one's a 22-to-1, just my experience from being around at the track, I know most guys would favor their 2-to-1s. For all honesty, I thought he had a better chance to win the race. But the way I bet and my overall philosophy is, you know, playing for year-end and yearly profits and not necessarily a one-day profit kind of thing. When I'm between two horses with odds like that, I always go towards the bomb hit, because you need the bomb hits. The 2-to-1's winning, even it would be more like a stopgap measure. It's, you know, it makes your day, it makes you able to come out tomorrow, it makes you be able to play more races, but it doesn't, to me, it doesn't translate. I don't hit enough of these 2-to-1s to pull a profit. So that's what I tell people. I always tell people, when you're between something, you know, you go for the bomb tickets. When they don't work out, you take the loss, or you play it a safer way. Hopefully you did the safer way, and you don't get hurt. But when you have an opportunity, you know, a big part of the skill is knowing when to hammer. That was my biggest bet by far of today, just because I thought that race had so much freaking potential. Yeah, the inside didn't hold, but it held enough for that one. Yeah. So you went to the inside, so it sounded like maybe you were on that one too. That you probably had that one in the 4. And to be honest, if I would have did a pick 5 ticket, I'm not a big better. And especially when I go pick 4s. I used to play a lot of pick 4s, and my pick 4 tickets would never be more than $50. I just consider them kind of a long shot kind of bet. Too many things have to go right. $50 was my threshold. I usually tried to keep them probably closer to $30. And I was honest. I decided to start playing daily doubles because I was 3 out of 4 of too many. And to me, it was just, you could go so much more money in the double and get out. And you know, if you're 3 or 4 in a pick 4, that means you should have hit. Well, if you played all doubles and you would have hit the pick 4, a lot of times your doubles would equal the same as the pick 4, especially, you know, if you play them for more than $1. And I never played a pick 4 for more than 50 cents. You know, so I just took that philosophy. But if I would have played a pick 5 ticket, my pick 5 ticket would have been no more than $60 today. And I would have went with the 1 and 4. I would have said, fuck, this is a tough call. I would have left the 8 off. You guys heard that I said I believe in the inside that much. But it's a hard game. That's what I said. It's a tough game, and this game is you know, to me it's more creative. Because, like I said, on paper. But man, anyways, I'm having a good day now. Okay, we got the 8th race. Man, my heart's still pounding. Okay, so we're back on the turf. We're in the 8th race, 5 furlongs on the turf, claiming 16,000 non-winners of 2 lifetime. The other turf ran exactly to the profile. The 7-horse got the lead. He was just a router, and you know, that's just something I didn't like. But as far as the As far as the bias and how I feel about this turf sprint races, it's still the same. It's we're going to be looking for the speed of the speed, horses that can be within 3 lengths at the top, or not at the top of the stretch, at the first call. Okay, so anyways, this one horse, average slow last race. I think I pointed this out when I was going ahead with Grossman earlier. I think I pointed out that, yeah, this one had the lead last race, but I don't really trust him. He's adjusted, well, I get my forms. So I run my forms through, I get the data through BristNet, and then they got a program where you can set up the forms how you want. And what I do is I have BristNet on that program adjust the times. This 22-3 was his time. He was at the front of that call. But generally, that's slow. 22-3 at the first call on the turf is slow. I want to look up that data, see how slow that was. But even though he looks like he has speed, and I'm looking at most of his races, he looks like a stalker. So I guess what I'm getting at is I just think he's too slow to really be a contender. But I did want to look up that date. What is that, January 30th at Gulfstream? My database is getting so big that it takes a long time to scroll. I got so many tracks here. Okay, there was 3. Okay, so anyway, so what I was going on about that day is I was kind of trying to hold that against him, saying that that was slow. Here's my turf sprints that day, this middle group. These are the unadjusted times. The track was actually playing slow that day. They were still able to wire and stalk, but they were going 22-2 was the fastest race. That's abnormal at Gulfstream on this turf. So that might change my opinion again on that horse, because that was actually pretty solid. Oh, the 2 horse, Parks horse. I got nothing on him. I don't have Parks. This horse has front speed. I never seen a turf race. He was at Zia before Parks. I got to believe Zia is a big step down. I don't know nothing about Zia. It's just, I feel that it's a big step down. So I don't know if I care. Oh, there's a 1-9 in this race. So we'll go to 3. He was slow. Match strides with the slowest winner last race, an average. That was at 7.5 furlongs. This horse has never had the lead at any time. For the first call, second call, he looks like a closer. Don't like him. The 4 horse, the big favorite. Here's another. Okay, this looks kind of like the earlier turf sprint race. This horse earned 3 hearts last race. He did it while going a mile. 3 races ago, he was fast again while going a mile. 1-9. So far, he's the best looking horse. Was this 5? I looked up an extra horse for Lou. I don't remember if it was in this race or the next race. My mind is, I'm all over the place right now. I didn't mark it on my form either. Hey, Bob, Bob, I did get your email. We're on. You got it right. Your your test email. That's me, buddy. Let me see. I'm lost in thought right now because I normally don't want to get into a race with a 1 to 9. I want to look up this Gulfstream race. Shit, I did all that extra work, and that was not the horse I'm thinking that I looked up extra. That was a one race sample. I want to go to October 10, 10, 10. 22 and 246. That's a triangle and a heart. I'm looking up the 5 right now. 3 races ago, he got a triangle, a heart, and average. This horse has a bit of speed. Do we want to take a shot against this 4? I can't do nothing with a 1 to 9. They don't help in the doubles. So the 5, I see a little potential on him 3 races ago being what I'm looking for. The 7 horse, slow last race. January 30th. That wasn't just the day I looked up on that 1 horse, was it? Yeah, so this slow. So this is coming out of the same race. The same day as that 1 horse that I just showed you on my thing that the track was playing slower. He did run better than the 1 horse. This horse battled. I'd probably upgrade that slow to being square, to be honest. 2 races ago, he was a triangle average. That was on a route race. 3 races ago, he was slow. You know what? He's not a front end horse. I know he did his last 2 races, but most of the time, this horse is a closer. I don't trust this horse. He's 18 to 1, but I don't even think I could take the stab at 18 to 1 there. And the 8 horse doesn't look appealing to me. I'm going to see if I should look up something, but and this 9 horse has earned really good marks, but he did it at a mile. Oh, I think it was this November 20th race. Maybe that was the horse that I looked up. Let me look up that November 20th race. I normally won't do this. Usually after a hit like I did last race, I'm happy with not playing another race. I probably won't even play Turfway tonight. You know, I said that I've been getting up at Gulfstream that I don't even need to take these play at night, make the wife happy. So this 9, 3 races ago on November 20th at 5 furlongs was just an average race. Oh, the 9's been scratched. There, 9 scratched. There's only 1 horse I'd be interested in here outside of the 4 horse. it'd be this 5-horse, 4-1. I don't know if I really want to. This horse is 2-5. Right now, I don't really know if I need this race. Shanghai Lovin', who is that or whatever? I'm just looking at the running lines. I noticed that someone ran third with this horse. The 7-horse ran third with this horse before, but he did it while trying to close. I don't really think the 7, I can't take a stab at the 7. I don't think he has the right running style. The 5 at 7-2, to me, I'm just going to sit out this race. I can't. I mean, he is the only horse that I'm interested in, so I could make the case to just try to get a little bit more money if he wins. I think this race is for whoever gets the lead here. I'm hoping the 4 doesn't go for the lead. The four's a leader at a mile. I'm just not sure. This is almost, I keep saying it, this is almost like the other race where I only just missed the 7-horse just because I don't like the route to Sprint Angle. Can this 2 win here? I don't know nothing about Sunland Park, and I don't know nothing about Zia. I just think that just sounds like such a step up. You know, I do have Parks. Hey, what's up, Not Sure? I can look up this Philly race, but let's see, 1124. That was kind of just an average race at Philly or at Parks. Nothing's that appealing to me here. If I tried to beat the 1-2, I'd be using the 5 mostly. Can this 1 do anything? Do I want to bet? I'm thinking about doing a bet here. And that cigar is done. I'm going to do a win bet on the 5. I'm just going to put 20 bucks on the 5. But I'm going to 2, 4, 5 on top of the 1 exacta. And I really don't even know why I'm doing this. But I am. I guess I feel like gambling. I don't feel real good about this race, to be honest with you. It's usually best not to play these races with 1-2s, 2-5s. It's usually not. I just think for fairly cheap, if this 5 wins, I think I want it. And if this one gets second, you know what? I'm even going to put $5 to win on the one. This won't be a real hit. I'm doing this in action territory. I need the exacta or the 5 to win. My best outcome would probably be 5 over the 1. One's not the front speed horse I was hoping to. 2 got the lead. Who is this 3? I didn't see this 3 going to the lead. I did not see the 3 going to the lead. Well, to me, only these first 4 horses can win this race. This looks like it's going to be about. I did not see this 3 at all. Where did this speed come from on this 3? That is a 3. Where did this speed come from on this horse? And the bias is as strong as can be. Okay, that's why I don't like route to sprint. By the way, what happened to the 5? What happened to the 5? Something at the gate must have happened? Well, I donated back. I don't have a problem with the 2 horse. If I didn't disrespect Zia and Sunland Park, 2 was an obvious horse to try to beat him with. But did something happen to the 5? I don't think I seen the 5 at any time during that race. And my controller on the all right, I was able to rewind this race. I need to see if something happened to this 5. Oh, there's the break. The 5 came out the gate. Huh. I don't think the 5 ever crossed the wire either. Ah, nice hit, not sure. I don't know what happened to this 5. What was not sure bet? 2-3. Oh, 2-3 all with the 4-9. Oh no, that's Mr. Clutch. Oh, Mr. Clutch, nice call there, by the way. 2-3. Yeah, I'm not sure. I should have skipped this race, but I was feeling like gambling after that last hit. I'm okay with that. But you know what? In all honesty, this too was not a hard horse to hit. It's just what I thought of Zia and Sunland Park. In fact, if I would have had those, if I would have tracked those numbers, he might have looked more appealing. But I'm not surprised. It looked like the three horses. Where did this threes race come from? This horse has never went for the lead, and all of a sudden he's dueling. Take it easy, Chester. Thanks for joining us, man. Oh, video down again? Oh, no, it can't be down. Oh, it is. Is the sound still there or just the video? Let me see. Where's my chat? Now that's on YouTube. Huh. Sound still. We'll see if this comes back on. I don't know what's going on. It's not the computer, it's Yahoo, because I'm still streaming according to my other software. Oh, boo. No.